So let's continue on with working with strings. Right, so strings are just plain text, so should be easy to work with, right? Well, maybe. So strings work with, as I said before, quotation marks like that. So we can say, oops, small letters, print, and we'll say American backslash, find the backslash. So if we type in backslash n, you see how it becomes orange. Now what does that mean? Well, it means that, well, let's check it out. American Academy, and we press play. What it does is, the way that it reads it, backslash n, it means basically enter. So it starts from another line. So it adds another line to the code, right? So that's one command. What about print, open brackets, American, and well, slash, and quotation mark again, Academy. What does that do? Well, it adds a quotation mark. Actually, that should be, there we go. Could be like, there we go. Yeah, so it adds those quotation marks, so you can have them there. And we can do it again on this side in order to have it proper. So we have American, quotation marks, Academy. So that's how you add quotation marks within the quotation marks, essentially. So let's create a string variable, right? Let's call it phrase, and phrase will be equal to, if we open up this, American Academy. So let's play that. There we go. It doesn't really print it because we haven't told it to print. So what we do is we say print phrase, which is our variable. So if it prints our phrase, there you go, American Academy. Brilliant. So now, concatenation is a very interesting term in coding. What it basically means is that you get one string and you append it onto another string. So if we go, if we say print phrase plus, what other variable do we have? We have location. So that plus the location, and we press play, becomes American Academy, Great City of Manchester. We can go American Academy. So phrase plus space, or a space after Academy, in the plus outside the thing plus the location. So phrase plus in the plus the location becomes American Academy in the Great City of Manchester. Okay, perfect. That is what concatenation is. You just add something else in there. So there are functions you can do as well. What if we want to take whatever is in here, our plain text, and make it all lowercase? So phrase, well, let's go print, open brackets, phrase, which is what we want to print, and we say dot lower, open and close brackets, and let's press play. See here it became all lowercase. Very interesting. So what if you wanted to make it all uppercase? I'll give you this challenge. Pause the video and try and do this phrase in all uppercase. How would you go about in doing it? Try it out. I'll give you the answer. So it's phrase dot upper. We're talking close brackets. So there we go, uppercase, perfect. So let's be a little bit more creative, shall we? So we've got lower on upper. What if we go print, open brackets, phrase dot is lower? Press play. What does that do? It says false. Why is it false? Because it's checking if everything within our phrase is lowercase. So it's the same with print, open brackets, phrase dot is upper. Close brackets. Play. False, because not everything is uppercase. Well, okay. How do we make it all uppercase and then test if it's uppercase? Well, we go print phrase dot upper, right? That's when we get upper. But now we want to check if it's upper. So dot is upper. We press play. True. So it actually transformed it. First thing you did, remember, it reads from top to bottom, left to right. So it goes. Okay, I've printed in open brackets. It said phrase dot upper. So it wants me to make phrase into uppercase and then print if it is indeed uppercase. So it comes out with true. What about if we do print open brackets len, whoops, and phrase? What is len, open brackets, phrase in there? What it does is, it says 16. That is the number of characters within this variable. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Space counts as well. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There you go, 16 characters. Okay, so what else can we do? What about print, open brackets, phrase, and we use the square brackets and write 0 in it? What did it do? Well, we told it to print the first index of this variable. And the first index is A, because that's the first element. If we want it, and the computer starts counting indexes from 0, so it goes 0, 1, 2, 3. It doesn't go 1, 2, 3. So if we were to write 2 and press play, it'll print the third index. Okay, so that leads us on to working with strings and a list. So if all indexes start from 0, and A is 0, M is 1, and so on, what is the index function to find the position of something? Well, if we go print phrase dot index, and then we open and write A. We want capital A. And we press play. It says 0. So in position 0, we find A. What about I? I is in position 5. Remember, indexes start counting from 4. So what if we wanted to say, well, what if we wanted to replace? Print, open brackets, phrase, dot replace, open brackets, American. So we want to replace that, comma. So it says here, you have to first write the old string, which is this one, and then comma, and write the new string. So that's how the command works with replace. It requires 2 arguments. The first is what you want to replace, and the second one, what it is you want to change it into. So if we write CPU, for example, and we press play, you go, instead of American, it replaced it with CPU. So it went CPU Academy instead of American Academy. Great, so now we know a few functions. So what if we want to change both of these, both American and Academy, into let's change it into African Anatomy. Okay? How do we do that? How do we change both of them into African Anatomy? Well, I mean, pause the video and try it yourself, but you can do it a few ways. A good way to learn, so we can combine a few things that we did before. If we type print phrase dot replace American, yeah, and then comma with straf. Yep, and then I forgot to close this bracket. There we go, perfect. And then dot replace code with let's press play. African Academy. Oops, sorry. There we go. Type code instead of code. So what I did here is I said, well, I want you to replace AME with AF, so it becomes African, because the rest of the words, the elements are correct. And then if I replace kate, part of the word there, with neto, then we have African Anatomy. So that is it with working with strings.